This was me last summer. I lost body fat, gained muscle, and got in the best shape of my life for my wedding. But many other years, this failed. I either never reached my goals or put all the weight back on soon after. So if you're hoping to lose weight for summer, this is exactly what I would do to get to your goals fast, but stay there long term too. Eat less plus move more equals weight loss. Scientifically, yes. But spend 5 minutes online and suddenly,
this is why you're not losing weight.
Menopause belly.
Fat burning peptides.
Intermittent fasting for dummies.
wellness culture has completely overcomplicated it. Because when you actually zoom out, all of these diets can work for fat loss. Not because they're special, but because they help you eat less. That's it. And as a registered dietitian who has helped hundreds of people successfully lose weight, one of the biggest things that I have learned is this. Fat loss is a science, but eating, that is a behavior. And behavior is messy. It's influenced by your hunger, habits, stress, routine, your actual life. So step 1 in your weight loss for summer action plan is simply this. Find the overlap between what is simple, effective, and sustainable. What you can actually stick to. And in step 2, I'm going to help you do just that. Now, what you eat for fat loss is important. There is no denying that. But it can be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. You can use calorie counters, track macros, and work out exact protein targets. Follow a very structured plan, and that works. But when life gets in the way, that tends to backfire. So instead, I try to keep things simple. 3 structured meals a day. 1 intentional snack and 1 thing purely for enjoyment. It's not perfect, but it's repeatable. And that is what matters. But what do those meals actually look like? Because that's where the difference for fat loss is made. So one of the first things I focus on for fat loss is volume. For example, this is what 1 serving of pasta looks like. Now you can take this exact meal and start to bulk it out with vegetables. And the calories, well, they are not going to change very much. But the volume of food on your plate has. And this matters way more than people think. Because we don't just eat with our stomach. We eat with our eyes first. And when your plate looks full, you feel more psychologically satisfied. Plus, your stomach has these stretch receptors, which signal to your brain that you are full when you eat a high volume meal. So I request all of my clients to start adding more fruits, veggies, and salads to all of their main meals. And you're not trying to eat less food, you are just trying to eat smarter. The second thing I focus on is protein. Not because it's trendy, but because it works. Protein helps keep you full and helps you maintain muscle while you're losing fat. So instead of overthinking it, just make sure there's a source of protein in each meal. That could look like eggs or Greek yogurt at breakfast, chicken, fish, or tofu at lunch, and something similar again at dinner. You don't need to be exact, but as a rough guide, I ask my clients to aim for 25 to 40 grams of protein per meal. And I have a completely free protein guide, which I will leave linked in the description box down below. Then we have fiber, one of the most underrated tools for fat loss. It keeps you full, it feeds your gut microbiome, and you don't even absorb all of the calories from it. So it's kind of like cheating on your diet without your diet ever even knowing. And if you're already adding more volume to your meals, you're probably getting plenty of fiber without even thinking about it. If you want to take it a step further, add a fiber booster to each meal. Beans, lentils, nuts, and seeds. Think of chia seeds as an example. They literally absorb water and expand in your stomach, which keeps you fuller for longer. And the chocolates that you want at night, they will never have the same effect. The last big thing with your diet is making sure that it's enjoyable. Because if it feels restrictive, you are not going to stick to it. So So instead of cutting out foods completely, make smarter swaps. Sugary drinks to sugar-free, high calorie sauces to lower calorie versions, and fatty cuts of meat to the leaner options. Same foods, just slightly better choices. Or intentionally build treats in. And that might look like having a slightly smaller dinner portion because you know you want that cup of tea and chocolate after your dinner. Or making simple swaps that are just a little bit more balanced. For example, if I want an ice cream, I make my high protein Ninja Creamy instead. And if I want a pizza, I'll make my own homemade flatbread version. If your diet feels like something that you are trying to escape from, it is not going to last. Then once your diet is set up, you need to monitor it because what gets measured gets managed. And this is where most summer plans fall apart by July. You can track your weight or your body composition. Daily, weekly, it does not really matter. What matters is that you zoom out because your weight will fluctuate. But just as important, track your consistency. And I see this all of the time with clients. They can describe the most perfect day of eating. But when I ask, well, how many days in the last month actually looked like this? It's something like 3 out of 30. We can all eat perfect for one day. But hitting closer to 30, that's what drives fat loss. So instead of asking, did I follow the perfect diet? Ask, how many days did you follow that diet for? When it comes to training, don't overcomplicate it. You don't need hours of cardio and you definitely don't need to be in the gym every day. What I would focus on is resistance training, strength training using weights, machines, or even your own body weight. And a few sessions done consistently is more than enough. Because building muscle is what helps you look leaner and hold onto your results. Then on top of that, focus on daily movement. Your steps, walking more, just being more active throughout the day. Because this is where a lot of fat loss actually happens. You might train for 1 hour, but you're awake for 14 or 15. So what you do in the rest of your day matters more than you would think. I use my walking pad almost daily and it's one of the best investments I made into my health. Now, sleep matters a lot more than people think. When you're tired, you're hungrier. Cravings go up and willpower goes down. So if fat loss is feeling harder than it should, this might be why. You don't need perfect sleep, but aiming for around 7 to 8 hours most nights is a really good place to start. Same for stress. When it's high, sticking to any plan becomes harder. Now, I'm a dietitian, so I'm not going to tell you how to manage your stress, but usually telling people to stress less does not work anyway. So figure out a way for you to manage this. Now, all or nothing thinking was one of the biggest things that held me back from fat loss. I felt like I needed to have a perfect diet 100% of the time. And honestly, because I'm a dietitian, I probably held myself to even higher standards. But the problem with that is the second something isn't perfect, it feels like you have completely fallen off track. You eat one off meal and you see the scales go up. And then you feel like you've undone all of your progress. But most of that is just water weight and not fat. So instead of panicking and Googling 10-day juice cleanses, just get back to normal, ideally at your very next meal, not next Monday. Now, when a dietitian on the internet gives you practical advice, like eat balanced meals, walk more, get enough protein, it can honestly just sound underwhelming because it is not extreme. And a lot of people would like to hear something like cut out gluten, cut out dairy and fast for 16 hours every day. And then your dream summer body will arrive by postal order in exactly 14 days. But the reality is that is not what gets results long term. What actually works is small 1% improvements done consistently. And that might look like having 2 squares of chocolate instead of the whole bar, ordering a McDonald's cheeseburger instead of a Big Mac, or taking the stairs instead of taking the lift. It's not dramatic, but it does compound. And by far the biggest system to think about is what happens after you have lost weight. Because if the way you're losing fat isn't something you can keep up long term, you're going to gain it back. Now, if you found this video helpful, I'd recommend follow me over on Instagram for lots of quick tips and healthy recipe ideas, or you can sign up to my completely free email newsletter, where I will keep you up to date on all the nutrition information that you need to know in this very confusing world. And a quick favor, if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a like. It really helps support my channel. And YouTube also has this new hype button, so if you see that, it would be really supportive to me if you did click it. Comment below and let me know what the biggest takeaway for you was from watching this video. And as always, stay happy and stay healthy, and I'll see you again next week. Thanks for watching.